Raw, SmackDown, WWE, or AEWN. Tune in to The Joe Cronin Show. Live on YouTube for review and reaction. Joe Cronin and Jake break down all the action. All of it. The Joe Cronin Show. Your source for wrestling opinions, news, and insanity. A wrestling podcast with attitude. Mature audiences only. Join our community of over 70,000 people. Subscribe free on YouTube to The Joe Cronin Show.
What's going on, everybody? We are about to get into it in just a second. The prediction comes true. Yesterday, by the way, I had a bad day today, but how are you guys doing? Hope you guys had a good day. AEW had a bad day today. The rating came true. The rating that we talked about the other day came to fruition. I was worried about this, and it's exactly what we got almost. I think I guessed. Do you guys remember what I said last night? I think I said 830 or 850,000. I was guessing it was going to do poorly because of the show, and that's about exactly what happened. And I said anything we really wanted over a 980,000 or to a million, but that did not. Man, we nailed it yesterday, basically. And we're going to talk about that and a bit more right after this. Stay tuned. We'll be right back as this alert goes out to everybody. And if you're a patron, you did get the Patreon alert. And in a little bit, we're going to go to the members section. So if you want to be part of the big one happening in a few, make sure you're a member. What up, Rose? What up, everybody else? What do you think? Was Vince McMahon in control of WWE again? Or was he just really visiting at Gorilla as a guest? Which one is it? We're going to talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Stick around. We'll be right back in 2 seconds.
Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, whether it's on the app on your phone or your computer or whatever. Over 2,000 hours of bonus content, controversial content you never heard on YouTube, like the Corrupted Podcast, my morning podcast, my podcast with my wife, my podcast with Jake and JB and everybody else over the years. There's hundreds of different shows on Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And all we need is 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. All we need is 5, 15, or 25 to help us stay alive. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5, 15, or 25. Help me stay alive. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. Help me stay alive. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. Keep the show alive. 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5, 15, or 25. Help us stay alive. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, about signing up right now on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. You can even sign up for $1, but we really would like you to sign up under the $5, $15, or $25 spot. Plus, we have $50 patrons and the insane $100 a month patrons. If you're $25, you're a producer of the show.
All right, so $5, $15, or $25, or $1, you can sign up on Patreon, but $5, $15, or $25 are the key spots. If you guys can become a patron, it would be very helpful. Plus, you get thousands of content. That's why I like pushing the Patreon so much, because you just get so much content on Patreon. It's a plethora of insane amount of stuff. Hope you guys are having a good day. So AEW did what we feared. It was my fear. I hoped I had been wrong. I didn't want it to happen. But it did. And unfortunately, I don't think it's good. Also, MJF looks jacked up. I don't know if you guys saw this picture of him on Twitter. He said something about still banging rats or something like that on Twitter. But, you know, I mean, Daniel Bryan saying he's all beat up and stuff. He's going home. Obviously, MJF took the week off. It looks like he actually is hurt. This doesn't look like makeup job. I mean, he's apparently pretty hurt from a head. Now, he said something from maybe the head leaked down to the eye, or hematoma moved or something. I mean, I hope he doesn't get what Christopher Daniels got. But there's MJF. He said it on Twitter. We'll go to the Twitter account in just a minute. Let me see if I can find it. We might as well just grab it and pull it up right now. So a disappointing number for AEW Dynamite, which we expected that was going to be the case potentially for AEW Dynamite. I've got a UTI. I'm a woman. I didn't even know guys could get those. The blood in the hematoma, the devil horn, on my forehead is now pooled down into my eye. Still the champ, though, and the rats don't seem to mind. Gobble me, rats. Gobble me. Love MJF. He's probably one of the best things, if not the only best thing right now about AEW, and he wasn't on the show the other night, which obviously was something that I was worried about being a huge problem, and, you know, really I think was a problem for them the other night. If you guys can, hit that like button and stick the thumb directly up my ass, please, and let me know what you think. We're going to check out the poll in a few minutes. We got the poll rolling in the chat. Things going on right there. 833,000 says Mustafa. I thought it was 858. I thought the number was 858. So if it's 833, then that's even worse. I gave them more credit than that. So if that's the case, then there's I mean, we got problems. If that's the case, I did not know it was that bad. I thought 858,000, which is about, I think, what I guessed the other night. I think if we go back and we look at what I guessed the other night, I mean, I could try to pull up my stream from AEW review last night. It was 2 hours long, but let's see if I can find the part.
It's the house is on fire. Because he was like,
let me see here. Let's see if we can find the number. I mean, I know anybody, and if anybody really remembers what I said, drop it in the chat, because it was just last night. I'm sure I got it. And here's where I'm making fun of Ricky Starks here. Poor Ricky Starks.
wow.
Really, I mean, that looks like him, doesn't it? Is that not Ricky Starks? Come on. Look at the similarities.
Wow.
I think I nailed Ricky Starks.
Dude, what is wrong?
I think I nailed Ricky Starks.
I just didn't.
Welcome to the...
You know, for the past...
In a little bit, we're going to go to the members-only stream. This is a Members Thursday, so if you're a member, you're good. If you're not a member, become a member if you guys can, and enjoy the show. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know where I might have said it, but at some point I said it towards the end.
But Mom said, she said, Jake had a wet dream the night before his fight.
We made fun of Boogie 2988, the poor bastard.
It's just match.
Where is it?
Match. That's what I always found weird about.
Somewhere in here.
Not sure it was.
God damn it! Where did I bring it up?
And going forward, but yeah. If not, I'll go to the doctors again.
What the fuck? I don't know where it is, man. I wish I could find it because I want to know how I did. And we also are having an argument about what's the rating? I think it's 858,000. Mustafa's saying something else, though. Let me see. AEW ratings. I didn't think that. It says technically it says they increased, but we knew they were going to increase because it was after a pay-per-view. Okay, so the ratings are in for Wednesday. The show drew 858,000 viewers, up from 833. So, again, though, I wanted this to do over 980. I wanted to do around 900-something thousand to 1 million. That's what I wanted because it's after a pay-per-view, so the ratings should go up. But I thought it would go up quite a bit. It only went up a little bit. Very tiny bit. So now I understand what the numbers are that we're talking about. But it only went up just a tiny bit. It needed to go up a whole lot more, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So it's too bad that didn't happen, but it's also pretty cool. Holy shit! Drew Bar gifting a whole bunch of subs.
I'm gonna gargle your piss!
Whoa.
You just made the list.
You just made the lisp. Look at this. Man, guys, holy shit. Look at Drew Bar. Wow, Drew Bar is bestowing 5 gifted memberships to a whole bunch of you guys. This is a members stream, so we're going to be switching over to members only mode in a few minutes as we go into
You raised a piece of shit!
second half of the show. And we're going to now see the people that benefited from that gifted sub by Drew Bar 100. That was really cool of you, man. Thank you, Drew Bar. Holy shit, bro. He just gifted 5 subs. I got to come up with a gifting sub notification because I don't think I have that. Right now, what do you think about Vince McMahon being in charge? We go to the poll right now. Is Vince McMahon in charge? 45% of you say yes. 23 no. 17 say a little.
Piece of shit.
Some people are honest and they say they don't know. We don't really know. Sloth Fan also benefits from the membership party by Drew Bar 100. Thank you, Drew Bar. That was pretty cool, man. Make Allison Green like her Packers. Yeah. Did Allison get one? That'd be cool. I mean, she's already been one before, but she may not be one again right now. So if she gets it, she would certainly be. Allison is certainly.
You raised a piece of shit.
Oh, there she is. Yes. Allison, holy shit. Thank you. You are certainly deserving of that. Because, man, Allison has been, like, back in the show like crazy for the last, 7 months, like, really backing the show. So, Allison, thank you. I'm gonna go into the chat in a minute because it's really going to be about reading the chat and hanging out with you guys. And I've got some of the news stories, and I'm going to talk about them in a few minutes as we go to membership-only mode. If you guys want to join us for that, come hang out for a little bit.
You raised a piece of shit.
Patrick Carnes gets the other membership. Great guy, longtime OG. Very deserving is that. Razor JB says, as of late, I don't care about wrestling anymore. It's been a bore. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us have been feeling that way. I mean, you got me feeling that way, right? Because look at how kind of down I've been for a little bit here, over wrestling. I've got a little bit of pep going again. I do have a little bit of confidence coming back and a little bit of interest back in wrestling. I think I needed that little bit of a mental just block break that I had for the last
a piece of shit.
6 months. So I feel like I'm coming out of it a little bit, that I'm doing a little bit better. Holy crap, man. Will Z got hooked up. The Z stands for zebra cock. I'm sorry, I don't know. Will Z, thank you, man. Good to see you, bro, and good to see you get that gifting of a sub. That's sweet. Courtesy of Drew Bar 100. So sweet and sexy. I like it. That's awesome, man. Yeah, and MJF, I think, yeah, he's pretty hurt. I mean,
you raised a piece of shit.
And we got a new member as well. He did this manually, I think. Red Raven Rucker, Triple R is become a member as well, and Triple R is a longtime guy, I believe. It's been a while. So thank you, Red Raven Rucker. I don't know why, but I almost said a slur.
You fucking mark.
Thank you, Red Raven. I'm only excited about SmackDown. Red Raven, what up? Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
I'm gonna gargle your your piss.
You just made the list.
You fucking mark.
When you play your little fuck games.
Chief Wahoo is playing the games, man. Thank you, Chief Wahoo. What is going on, man? We're having a sub gift party. How many? Oh my God, bro. Chief Wahoo just gifted 5 memberships out. We are having an absolute sub membership.
You raised a piece of shit.
Gifting membership party. Thank you guys. Holy crap. Mike Lee gets the benefit of 1. What up, Allied Darkness? You're the best. This is crazy. We're having a real members friggin' meltdown here. Holy crap. Mike Lee gets that benefit. But yeah, I don't think Brian Danielson is really that injured. I'm sure he's beat up a little bit. But I just think he's taking time.
You raised a piece of shit.
Which makes sense. You know, after a long Iron Man match like that, Jag the Panzer gets the benefit of one of those months. Thank you very much. We are having a masterful membership party. Also, Allied Darkness gets a hold of one of those memberships. And RKO XX KANE also gets one as well. Thank you, guys. Holy shit, bro. Colonel Stutters, that's fine, man. I appreciate that. Can only afford Patreon producer's role this month. Hey, man, I'm glad you got that. And I'm gonna have the Patreon members.
You raised a piece of shit.
The patron members badge is coming tomorrow. I'm gonna work on it tonight. Actually, I was supposed to do that last week. I'll have that up because we have some new and returning members on the Patreon. $25 producers a month, which is pretty significant. So thank you to everybody who's a $25 producer on Patreon. Allied gets that gifted membership as well. So the other thing is WWE is going to legalize betting, allegedly, here, apparently. And I talked about this the other day. I just think that's hard to really – how do you do that when the sport
you raised a piece of shit.
Is predetermined? How do you stop anybody from getting the information, from selling the information? I mean, you had so many wrestlers and employees over the years fired for leaking things and fired for selling fake, T-shirts and merchandise and just going against the grain and breaking the rules in WWE. I mean, the Hebner brothers were fired for something like that, and so many others have been in trouble for so many different similar type of things.
You raised a piece of shit.
You're going to trust people with gambling and betting odds and shit like that? I just don't know how that's going to be possible. Oh my God, Spectral Citizen has become a member. Bro, we are gearing up for the membership stream. Any minute, we're going to be going over to the membership stream. And good Lord, we're racking them up, dude. This is crazy. What the hell? I'm going to pour a water. And when we get to the membership thing, we're going to be looking at this chat a lot. Spectral Citizen, thank you, dude. Wow. Oh, my God, dude. What the hell? Dude. Oh, my God, bro. Red alert. Drew Bar just gifted 5 more subs.
I'm going to gargle your piss.
Wow. I can't believe that, dude. Thank you, Drew Bar 100. What is going on, man?
You raised a piece of shit.
We are beefing up.
Fucking mark.
Holy shit, Turpa 21 is the benefit of that membership. Let's go. We're not even getting to the news right now because we're having this is crazy. Corbin Dallas, whatever, Ostava. Sloth says, what's the true rumor of LA Knight versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania? I would take it, I guess. But, man, LA Knight's got to win sometime soon, too, man. He's got all the... I love him. I've been loving LA Knight.
You
man.
raised a piece of shit.
Every once in a while, I attach myself to people and things. And it's Cody Rhodes for a while now, but I want to do it for that. Jay Swiss, what up? OG Jay Swiss gets the benefit of one of the memberships. Drew Bar 100 is killing it right now. How many memberships is that? Drew Bar 100 gifted over, 10 memberships? That's crazy, bro. I'm going to thank Drew Bar.
You raised a piece of shit.
This is so nice of you, dude. That is very nice of you, man. Holy shit. Bo Knows, another OG. That guy's awesome, too. Longtime guy to benefit from the gifted subs from Drew Bar. That's fucking awesome news. Bo Knows is great, man. He's a cool guy. That is perfectly awesome. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Drew Bar, and congratulations, Bo. Is that 15 gifted? Yeah, I thought he was over that. Is that 15 gifted? Total?
You raised a piece of shit.
It's 10 by him, though, right? I can't do math. That is, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 10 gifted by Drew Bar. Thank you, Drew Bar. Wow, man, this is crazy. Nats fan 31 benefits as well. Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate that. You can super chat. Super chats are on, and the donation link is up top if anybody wants to do that. Much appreciated. Nats fan, welcome, bro, and glad you got the membership. In a minute, we'll be doing the membership. Everybody's going to be waiting around hoping they get gifted a membership, you know what I mean? But if you don't want to roll the dice, you can just become a member if you'd like to. Taking bets on Bray Wyatt will be future endeavored. Yeah, Bray Wyatt just continues to kind of, I don't want to say like a failure, but man, it's just always a miss right now with Bray Wyatt. It's been such a miss for a long time, but this has been a problem for Bray Wyatt. And, Triple H gave us some insight into this, why that could be happening, that Bray Wyatt a lot of times really can't get out of his own way with ideas, and he's all over the place. Maybe he makes it hard for people to book for him or to create for him or with him because he's so spastic all the time. But every single time Bray Wyatt launches something new, it is exciting for about a second, and then it dies a slow and eventually painful death. And the biggest example...
You raised a piece of shit.
Oh, shit. Colonel Stutters. He said F it and became a member anyway. Dude, that is crazy, Colonel. You didn't have to do that. I know you want to be part of the membership thing. Actually, you know what, dude? I should have just gifted you the membership if I could. I don't even know if you can do that. But that's crazy. Thank you, man. After being a $25 producer on Patreon, then he goes and drops a membership. Thank you, Colonel Stutters. I just think that, the thing that made the alarm finally go off in my head that, this has been an issue, and this is a real issue that's not going away, has been that I found LA Knight to be the entertaining one and to be the one I wanted to see during the Bray Wyatt feud. I almost think Bray Wyatt should go into that sort of Mankind role when Mankind was a bad guy and just stick to that sort of being a menace and a creep and let other people, I don't know, because I'm not really there for what's going on anymore with Bray Wyatt.
You raised a piece of shit.
It's a whole lot of talking and walking, and there's nothing that ever happens. But LA Knight comes out and he's like, hey, let me talk to you. Why don't you shut your mouth? Like he sounds like The Rock meets Stone Cold. He just sounds fun. And I know that I've been jerking off on this guy now for a while, and you guys are probably getting sick of it. But John Doe, thank you, man. Holy crap, dude. We might actually set the membership record tonight. I think the most members that I've ever had on YouTube, I think might be 100. I don't even know if it's 100. It's definitely barely 100, if not 100. I know the record on Twitch was 115, I think, because somebody gifted like 50 once. But the record on YouTube,
bum.
We're coming up to it.
Bought third row to Raw after Crown Jewel. Fun?
Oh boy, I don't know. I hope for you it's fun, but that's such a roll of the dice. I mean, to be honest, the odds of Raw being good, I think you got about a 1 or 2 out of 10 of having a good time at Raw, in my opinion. I mean, maybe that's wrong, but I'm concerned for you. Is that Alex Oli? Alex, thank you, man. That's the first super chat. Thank you, Alex Oli, for super chatting, man. What's going on? I don't know, man. I think you're rolling the dice. I think it's a risk, But if you got the money, and it's not that big a deal, and you're not living paycheck to paycheck, and you know what I mean, I would say, and you want to have fun, and you're looking for something fun to hopefully do, and you're not too worried about it. But I do think it's a roll of the dice. I think it's probably not going to be the best. Actually, I don't think we are going to set the membership record because the members are Now, the membership numbers could be wrong. I don't know. But it says 53 members. Yeah, so maybe we won't set the record. For a while, we've always had over 50. So this new membership party we've been having tonight has gotten us to 53. But fuck, man, we would need 50 people to become members tonight to hit the record. I think the record actually is lower. I think it's 80 maybe, but we'll say it's 100. 100's a good number. I don't think I've ever seen it past that, though. Maybe there's a thing on here that will tell me what it is. Oh, here it is. Maybe, yeah. You know what? I think this might actually tell me what we might potentially be able to get that record. Let's see. Let's see the yearly change. Monthly change? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. We're not. It doesn't really say. It doesn't really say under the guidelines. I think it looks like it's 80. But, yeah, pretty close. Well, I mean, we're not there yet, but we'll get there eventually. Let me see. What did, really quickly, what was I saying? John Doe became a member. John Doe went and said, F it. John Doe, thank you, man, for becoming a member.
I'm going to gargle your piss.
Appreciate that, bro.
Shit bum.
Drew had a good promo too, should re-listen. Sheamus was mad. Drew challenged Gunther and Drew said, do I have to ask you to wipe my ass too? Drew, thumbs up.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, they've got some kind of chemistry together, and they're pairing them together. Joe Stutters is right. If you went live for members only once a week, you definitely would get more people. Yeah, you're right. I just don't do a lot of member streams. That's really what it is. I've been kind of neglecting that, but we are going to go to the members only in just a second, so make sure you guys have that underway in a minute as we switch over to members only. Let's see. Allison got the support there. That's pretty cool. So the other thing is, we talked about a little bit here, but I thought they pulled the trigger on Hobbs the other night. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was fairly well done. We'll see how the run goes. I hope it goes well. Runs have not been good for several people with the TNT belt, really. I'm struggling to think of. I think when Cody had it, it meant something. I think when Brody had it, it kind of meant something. And there's been a couple, maybe one other or two. Darby only had it for a second. Quite a few people now have had it for about a second, it felt like. And that belt needs, the TNT belt needs a little help. So, I'm hoping that they can, fix that. Because I think it's a major discrepancy with that belt being in a bit of trouble recently. So I'd like to see them, tighten that thing up a little bit. Daniel Bryan goes home. WWE is doing a premium event in, I think it's Puerto Rico. So they're looking to do a lot more like worldwide stuff in Puerto Rico and all over the world. I mean, that's obviously something they're always going to try to do that. It's a good thing for them. It doesn't bother me. It's hard to sometimes cover the things around the world at different time zones, but I mean, they watch our stuff over here, but selfishly, the time zone Daniel Bryan goes home. Selfishly, that's the time difference kind of sets us off a little bit, so that can be a little bit of an issue, but good for them if it makes the money and it makes sense. I mean, why not go everywhere, go all over the world? That's not a problem. WWE loses traffic accident lawsuit, ordered to pay over $300,000 in damages. I don't know if you guys remember this, but a while back there was some kind of an issue. Let's see. Where was it? According to PW Insider, WWE came up short end of the stick in a lawsuit filed by Jackson Parsons over a traffic incident in 2019. Lawsuit saw some movement in February, and I don't really know what's going on here, but the amount of money was determined by the percentage of WWE's own negligence in the accident. Parsons' lawsuit revealed that he had sought over $76,000 in pain and suffering and $401,000 in future pain and suffering, ultimately falling $69,000 short of his goal, but not bad. He almost got all of it. Parsons was injured while on a bike ride after being struck by a van driven by WWE's Gaten Thomas. Thomas, who WWE described in legal filings as an independent contractor with the promotion as opposed to an employee, was driving a company van at the time of the incident. Parsons underwent ankle surgery as a result of the crash. He later attempted to settle with WWE in 2020, asking for $1 million and filed the lawsuit after the deal could not be reached. So the WWE made the right call by not giving him $1 million because they ended up having to only give him about $331,000. So that kind of sucks for the guy because, you know, I mean, he got $300,000. I hope he's all right. I hope it. I mean, you don't want someone who's lying about their injury, but you also would. I hope it's not a big deal. I hope he's got a nagging little injury and it goes away over a couple of years and it's not a big deal, but he lands $300,000. I mean, that, you know, I hope that's what it is. I hope the guy isn't suffering too long, but he was being honest. And if WWE screwed up, then they should have to pay for it. But that's classic of them to, like, one of the people hits him and like, oh, that's an independent contractor. I mean, that's not even our fault. I don't know why it's WWE's fault, but I myself know that I wouldn't want to sue another individual unless they were super rich. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to sue some individual. I would want to sue a company. If I got hurt because someone's driving, you know what I mean, and that person is like a hardworking guy and it was a mistake, mostly a mistake and whatever, I probably wouldn't want to sue because I don't want to fuck up someone's life if I'm not that fucked up. But if it was a big company who can certainly deal with a couple of $100,000 or $1 million or something, well, I'm going to sue them then because I am hurt. This does suck, and you're a giant company, and I need a couple of bucks. So if I had a legitimate beef, I would definitely sue a company. And if I had a legitimate beef, I mean, maybe I would sue somebody, but it would have to be really, like, egregious or, like, they really fucked up and, like, I'm not going to pay for this, you know? Why should I have to pay for it? But it would be hard for me to sue someone, like, even if it was their fault. I just don't like that stuff. But if it's a company, you know, it was $150 with legal fees. What? I wonder how much. I wonder how many legal fees it really was. Like how much it was his lawyer. I would think like 30,000, 40, maybe 30,000. I don't know. You know, he's got insurance. That's true. I mean, if you got insurance too, I mean, I guess it's not that big a deal. I mean, I'd literally talk to the guy, be like, hey, listen, you did this, and I'm gonna sue, but do you have insurance? And who's the insurance? You know, I just don't want to hurt people, even though. But if they fucked up and, you know, some jerk off did something terrible, I mean, obviously I'm gonna, you know, I'll take the money then. Yeah, Brian Danielson's booking has been very strange. Anyway, guys, we're gonna head over to the members portion of this stream now. So come on over there and congrats to all the people who got gifted subs. And let's see if the members is working. Here we go. We're switching over members. Remember. Let's see if we can get it. Sometimes this goddamn thing don't want to work right. We'll get it to work. We're gonna get it to work. All right. Members only is on. You can still become a member if you'd like to. And then we're going to go into the chat. That's the whole point of the members only stream. Did I get all the donations out? I think I did. All right, members only mode in the chat. And quick, I just want to make sure. Okay, cool. You can still donate if you really want to. That's fine. obviously that'll help me out. But Turpa's here. What up, Turpa? We're going to give you some sexy attention. Thanks to everybody who gifted subs like Drew Bar and everybody, man. You guys were beasts. Thank you for that. Who else did? Chief Wahoo gifted as well. Thank you, Chief. I salute you. Thinking of stepping out in front of a WWE van. Yeah, I don't know, though. WWE van doesn't pay that much, but yeah, $300,000 would change my life, so I'd pay the IRS off, number one. I'd pay the IRS off. I'd pay off all my credit card debt and all my debt, right? So that's about $100,000. So $100,000 out the window, and you're left with about $200,000, right? So then you got $200,000. Well, I'd probably just bank that. I'd probably take $200,000 and bank it, because then I'd have to live off of that for the last, next couple of years or whatever. But I'd have no debt, I already own my car, so that's good. I mean, maybe I would pour some of it into the house, take $100,000 and drop it into the house, and that would make the house payment, that would make the overall payments drop. But I mean, then you're still got a $200,000 to pay off on the house, so it's kind of like, probably, I don't know. That's a tough decision. Turpa says, who gives an F about wrestling going to WWE? What's the obsession with that? They bury everyone. Oh, you mean with people going to WWE? I mean, but some people think that about AEW now. Like some people think now it's like, why go to AEW? They bury people. You have different corners of all the wrestling fans who think WWE buries people, or AEW buries people. Things aren't always, grass ain't always greener, type of thing. So you've really got this mixed bag of, and it really depends on the wrestler. One wrestler can think they're going to do well somewhere else, and they don't. Other wrestlers can think they're going to do the other place, they don't. And sometimes they don't do well either place, and sometimes they do fairly well at both places, right? Like, thinking about, I don't know, just think like Bryan Danielson, I think, has done fairly well in AEW, but, the height of his, he did the best in WWE when he had the Yes Movement, and he did the best in the WWE when he became a heel with the hemp belt and faced Kofi Kingston. Daniel Bryan actually had a mega heel run for a second that was really good, a successful heel run, and a successful face run. I mean, man, that is hard to come by. It's hard to be a guy who can say, the fact that you can say, I was in WWE and I had a massive heel run for WrestleMania for about 3 months, and I had a massive face run for almost a year. When you think about it, not a lot of people can say that. So Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, amazing stuff. Turpa, thank you, Turpa, and thanks for being a member. If anybody else wants to become a member, you can do it now. You can chat with us. We're in members mode right now. Brian with the green badge in the JCS face. Hey, do you think Cody will beat Roman at WrestleMania? And if he doesn't, then who will win? I really do think Cody's going to win. I know it's predictable, but they got to finish the story. I think Cody's going to win, and I think, Sami Zayn may show up to help in some capacity, but not really to help him screw over Roman, more so to stop the interference that is going to happen. I've been saying that for a long time, I just think that's the way to go, and that's what they're going to do. And I know it's so predictable at this point now, and I've said it a million times, but I think it's going to happen. I like Cody too. Turba, what up, Turba? Chief Wahoo says Detroit might get a treat. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Detroit might get a treat. We'll see if that comes true, man. I hope they do. I hope you have a good time there. Colonel Stutter says, when Bryan Danielson said he was leaving, they didn't even care and just moved on. I mean, well, at that point, when you find out somebody's leaving, right? They're leaving the company. You don't want to play it up too much. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to play it up too much and play into it that much. I know this from my own past. A lot of times it's people just trying to make a lot of noise for where they're going next or what they're doing next. So you want to downplay it. I mean, I don't blame WWE for downplaying it and trying to just be like, whatever. You know, because what are they going to celebrate him? So he has more steam going to AEW, you know? So I sort of agree with WWE on that one. Spectral Citizen says, what will happen when the Bloodline story ends? Well, things will get a lot more boring. And we will probably remember this time. We'll remember this era, this time as, you know, not a lot of good stuff was going on, but the Bloodline stuff was really pretty good. You know, I'll remember 2022 and 2023 for the Bloodline story, you know, and for what they did. That's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot else. I mean, maybe Cody showing up. I'll remember Cody's torn pec and that stuff with Cody, you know, wrestling in that match with that torn pec, his debut and everything, and probably his whole story here going into WrestleMania if he wins. But Bloodline, I don't know what they'll do at that point. You know, I think they may be together for a while, though. I would think, in some capacity. If Roman takes a break, they'll all sort of break off for a bit, and then they'll, you know, come back together. You know, things like that. They may continue. I don't know. It's so good right now that you got to... WWE has to treat the Bloodline the way they kind of treated the Shield, which is like, okay, you got The Rock, you got Cena, you got Stone Cold Steve Austin, you got the Shield, which is a group over just an individual, and you got the Bloodline. You know, it's like it's not the NWO, it's not DX, it's not, you know, it's kind of like the Nation of Domination in a way, you know, to me. It's a little bit like the Nation of Domination, because the Nation of Domination was never like insanely huge or anything like that, but it was a remembered and pretty well done story at the time, and it created a lot of stars and interest for those guys. Vince buried NXT talent, says Brian. Yeah, I think he did. Brian Rogers says, I feel like Danielson helps ROH more for selling the streaming service if they move him over. Yeah, a little bit, but, you know, I mean, that would help a little bit. But again, you're right, because if he goes to, it's just so much money for a guy like that to sell, 30,000 people? You know, you might get maybe 15 to 30,000 people watching Ring of Honor because of Danielson and a couple other people if they shift over to Ring of Honor, which they might. But is that really worth it? Is that worth it? Is his 100 I mean, how much is he getting paid? He's probably getting paid $1 million. Is Bryan Danielson getting paid $500,000, 300,000? What's he getting paid in AEW? I mean, if Jon Moxley is getting paid $6 million and Jericho's getting paid $4 million, what's Bryan Danielson getting paid? Like $1 million? And if that's the case, is that worth putting him over on Ring of fucking Honor just to get an extra 15 or 20,000 people to watch it? They're not going to make the money back that way. You know, even if you sold a pay-per-view at 30,000 buys times $9, I mean, that's $270,000. I mean, I don't know, bro. Alex Oli, thank you, man. They haven't had a chance to bury him yet, says Turpa. Might be right. So who will win Cody face after? I think Cody will just go into a little run after that, you know, with facing people. He might face individual members of the Bloodline even. There's a whole litany of people that you could line up against Cody after that. I think Cody will be a face for a bit, and I think at some point, you know, Cody is going to get booed eventually, because just it seems to happen everywhere that eventually people get sick of Cody and they start booing him, and he don't like that, but at some point I just feel like that's going to happen. I think Walter takes the title off him. Wow, I don't know about that yet, but I know that he might face him. Alex Oli said Ric Flair and Tony Khan are doing too much and he should let someone else book. I mean, I think he has been letting other people do a little bit more. Turpa says Owens and Zayn stepping stones for Reigns, and that sucked. Yeah, but they could come back around that somebody could be facing him at some point. Chief Wahoo says the story ain't over until ain't going to end. I believe they're leaving room for The Rock at WrestleMania 40. I mean, you could be right, maybe, but you know, maybe Reigns will screw over Cody in the summer. I'm so sick of The Rock stuff, though. I'm, you know, oh my God. Can you imagine this, doing another year of The Rock at WrestleMania? It could be next WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, we're doing it again? Holy shit, bro. Brian says, Rogers, I think the plan, I missed the belts. Brian Rogers, I'm seriously hoping they split the belts Yeah, they might have to split the belt soon. Why not? Oh my fucking God, you got to be kidding me. Moxley is getting $6 million. If that's true, wow. Yeah, he's the most paid wrestler in AEW. Jon Moxley has a $6 million contract. $4 million for Jericho. Drew Bar 100 says he gets stale. Cody probably will. Yeah, that same promo he always does. And I'm a good guy. Yay. Colonel Starter says 12,000 people paid for Honor Club at $9.99 a month. Yikes. So yeah, if Brian Danielson went over there, you might get another 5, 10, 15,000 buys. But is that enough to justify his contract? I don't know, man. Not sure if that's enough. Brian Rogers says, funny how much Cody hates getting booed, yet would be a great heel if he would accept it. Yeah, he would have been great if he had turned in AEW. But honestly, I'm starting to think that it's really not about that. I don't think it's about that he didn't want to be a heel in AEW. I think he didn't want to be just a heel in AEW because of the infighting that was going on behind the scenes, caused by the Elite. Obviously, the Elite pissed off CM Punk and so many other people, and they pissed off Cody Rhodes. They've pissed off so many people that I think he was like, well, I'm not going to be this bad guy now and lose, my merchandise rate and everything else. But I'd like to believe it's not that he wants to be revered. I would hope that that's not it. We've had 18 new members this stream, man. Thank you guys for all becoming members. I just don't think that that's 100% what he wanted to do. There's no way they're ending the Bloodline story, says Derek Hance. I don't think so either. I think you could be looking at another year of this, to be honest, because it's the hottest thing going. It's their biggest thing. It's their only big star. I mean, Cody's up there and Sammy's kind of in there right now, but it's their big star is the Bloodline. They help other faces be good. They're the best heels. Turpa says people are so used to underpaying wrestlers. I know, but this is what competition does, right? This is what competition can do, and ends up getting people paid. To be honest. So when you get people paid like this, that's good news for the wrestlers, obviously. And yeah, they end up getting people paid. And that's, I guess, good for the wrestlers. I don't know what the hell. Someone sent me Kamala Harris. I don't know. That's going to give me nightmares. Bro, why'd you send me that? Also, thanks to Alex Oli, man. I think he might have been the only one who's donated during the stream as well. So thanks to the 18 members, Alex Oli for donating, and everybody who gifted members as well. And hit the like button if you guys can. We could maybe get to 90 likes, 80 likes. People need to make up their minds. Vince is in charge or not. Yeah, we'll talk about that next. We haven't talked about it much yet. Brian says, Joe, do you think the Usos, Roman take a break after WrestleMania when they lose? I think it's possible that a lot of those guys take a break for a little bit, especially if they lose. They're going to take a week or two off. I love it when they face the music, though. I love when there's something to be done and people face the music, Like, one of the most disappointing things was after WrestleMania 14 when Stone Cold won and beat Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels left and was gone. We didn't have Shawn Michaels anymore. And then, but Triple H was there that night. Triple H was there, and I think Triple H won his match, right? Yeah, they cheated. They beat the hell out of Owen Hart. And so Triple H was perfect. He won his match, but Shawn lost his, and Shawn took his ball and went home. And that's when Triple H was like, you look to your blood, you look to the click, and Triple H relaunches, DX. And it would be nice if they are going to take a break for a long time, that maybe somebody,
you all
oh my God,
have decided to take your hard-earned money.
Oh, shit.
And to fund my show, to fund what I do,
Whoa.
to fund what I believe in, to fund my godly
Derek
ass.
Hance.
JCS Army, donate to me.
Derek Hance. I think that's Derek.
Oh my God.
Acknowledge me.
Derek Hance is here. Holy shit.
Wow. Wow. My God, Derek.
This All Access show is a joke. Doesn't this company expose their own business enough? Seriously. This is like a magician showing you the tick before he walks out on stage.
Yeah, I have not seen it. Derek, thank you so much for the $50, man. Derek, thank you very much for $30. I'm sorry. Take 50, but $30 is a big one. Derek, I have not seen it. And I just know that when I saw it, I was like, oh no, not more of this. Dude, in the end, if it was good enough, it might do better ratings than AEW, because this shit's more interesting than the show. They pull back the wool. They pull back the curtain is the word I'm looking for. They pull back the curtain so much that it's like, what's up? Okay, what you doing? All right, come down here and come say hi. I'm live on the air right now. Come say hi. My mother's going to flash everybody on the show live. It's going to be great. My mother's coming down to flash everybody live on the show. You've never seen a grandma like this, let me tell you that. But yeah, Derek, dude, I just don't. I think that it's too much and too overexposed with all this stuff. Derek, I don't know what my mother's doing, but hang on one second. Let me, what are you doing? What is that? Oh, I need a paper, yeah.
To print my statements out.
My mother's entered the building.
Hi, bye.
I love you. Thanks for being here. Wait, are you staying up for a view? I'm coming. Oh, okay. It's like your bedtime. It's like way past your bedtime. Where'd you get that scarf? Hook me up with that scarf. You going home? I love you. Bye. Thanks for doing that. My mother brought a dress for my daughter and a couple other things. What up to Mom? Good to see my mama. Unexpected. Put Mama on the mic. I did a big podcast with my mother. When was that? 2 years ago now? I did a big podcast with my mother. I think she was 70 at the time. It's up on Patreon. If you're a patron, go listen to it. Just search. You can search on Patreon. Search Joe Cronin Mom or something. And you'll see the podcast I did with her. It's actually really pretty cool, pretty fun. And we should do another one, actually. But we will do another one because it was fun. And I think people learned a lot from it. It was a lot of fun. Joe, did you watch Cena bury Theory on Monday? Yeah. I was wondering, I was like, is this another one of those moments where Cena's trying to get the guy to go off and do something? It was really just Cena burying the guy. Just kind of burying him, What are the chances of Ballerina Cena getting number 17 this year? Pretty good. We're going to see Cena in that cross-dressing movie. Brian Cage is a free agent. I think Brian Cage is definitely somebody who will end up in NXT at this point. I think they'll try to move on him. MJF isn't a draw. Fact, says Alex Oli. I think he might, I don't know if he's like a draw for new people, but he's definitely somebody who helps the current product be more interesting. And without him, I think the numbers would drop a little bit. So I think MJF is a little bit of a draw. I do think he is a little bit of a draw. He wasn't there on the show. And I think if, he was, I don't know. I mean, everybody's a little bit of a draw now. It's whether you're not a draw at all. And the words, a little bit of a draw or a draw, it's hard to say. Turbo Jag de Panzer, Mama Cronin. What else? 6 million worth of blood, says Chief Wahoo. That's fucking hilarious. Alex, he's the best heel in AEW and great in ring promos. That's what I think. I think MJF is just, without MJF, it would be a whole lot less entertaining, and there may be a lot of people who don't even watch it, to be honest. So I think it's very important that MJF is in the company. I think he's very important. I don't know what kind of draw, this or that, I don't know. But I do know he's very important, and without him, it would be worse. So I do like MJF. Few more. We got a little bit more time here live, so let me just fix my mic, and while I do that, stay tuned real quickly. I'll be right there.
On
This is only a quick break. 30 seconds. 30-second break.
Whether it's on the app on your phone or your computer or whatever. Over 2,000 hours of bonus content, controversial content you never heard on YouTube, like the Corrupted Podcast, my morning podcast, my podcast with my wife, my podcast with Jake and JB and everybody else over the years. There's hundreds of different shows on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And all we need is 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5, 15, or 25 to help us stay alive. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5, 15, or 25. Help me stay alive. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. Help me stay alive. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. Keep the show alive. 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5.
Join Patreon for 5, 15, or 25. Keep the show alive. Brian Rogers, the real question is, can Brian Cage pass a wellness policy? I think he can. You know, he can smoke weed, though. That's all right. Then beat him 2 out of 3 matches. I don't know, but I just like LA Knight. I like him. I got a boner for him. Derek Kant says hopefully TK doesn't think that way, too, because he absolutely cannot afford to lose him next year. I agree as well. You can't lose MJF. If WWE let MJF be MJF, how much do you think he'd really be able to draw? I think if MJF could be MJF in WWE, I mean, like, that would be incredible. Because he'd be doing this on a bigger platform, and a lot of the one of the things that would happen is a lot of the temporary casuals, there's a lot of temporary casuals. That's something we don't talk about a lot, but they're people that start watching wrestling out of nowhere almost, and they stick around for 3 months to 6 months to 2 years to 5 years, and they eventually dwindle off. And I think some of those very temporary people who watch for about maybe 6 months to 3 years, those temporary casuals who are very important to the business but are dwindling down, those people might stick around for a longer time if they see a guy on the stick who's dropping crazy truth bombs and exciting wild shit. When you see exciting wild shit that you almost can't believe you're watching and you're very entertained by it, it helps your longevity, as far as watching a show or something. And that's something that we've just been missing a lot of for a while now. And so many temporary casuals have dropped off. And a lot of temporary casuals are still here, but not as many created as before and not as many hanging on as before. And that creates that double problem. And that is, I think, a major issue. And if you had a guy firing off on the stick like MJF, that would certainly help. Derek Hance, I think the most important question is the first one you said for Drew, but I missed what Drew said. Drew Barr said, I think, let's see. I mean, he's going to lose to Theory at WrestleMania. Really? Yeah, I mean, if Cena loses to Theory at WrestleMania, that'll be huge for Theory, obviously. Brian Rogers says, I am wondering this far out now, but if Cody was helping Tony book, because it wasn't long after he left, the booking turned to crap. No, because, I mean, he was, but one of Cody Rhodes' complaints that we heard was that he wasn't really being allowed to book as much anymore, and that Tony Khan had kind of gone into his own booking. And Cody really wasn't doing a whole lot with that anymore. And that was one of the things that bugged Cody. So that's part of the reason he left, too. So that had already happened, I think. What about the hardcores? Who's come back for a little bit and dropped back also? Yeah, that's true, Drew Barr. There's a lot of hardcore people or people that tune in. We know that from the Raw celebrations, like the Raw 30s or the Raw, Raw 25 or those Raw celebrations, Raw's 3,000th episode or whatever it's been that they've been doing. You know what I mean? We know that from those episodes, that it's been like, oh shit, 4 million people are watching tonight. And so many people said they were coming back to see Stone Cold. And, well, I haven't watched wrestling in so long, I'm going to come back and watch it. And then they did, and it was like, it was so bad. They were like, damn, what happened to the show? Like, seeing Stone Cold was kind of cool, but it just seemed kind of like, And they were like, or they thought it was kind of cool, and they were like, you know what, I'm going to watch next week. And then the next week's show was bad, and it was like, what is this? And they were like, I'm out. So they lost that audience every time, and they could have brought that audience back if they had done shocking, fun stories, and they just couldn't do it. And that was a major problem, I think, obviously, for them. And they really screwed up there. They blew a big chance. You know, they blew a big chance. They had a huge opportunity with those, and that showed me, man, that they got fucking problems. You know, because that was crazy that they did that. Turpa says, I want Stardust. Yeah, I'd like Stardust too. Tell us about it, William Regal.
Welcome to the desk.
Thank you very much, Taz.
Hello, sir.
Mr. Schiavone.
Hello.
Man in the mask. How are you today?
Doing quite well,
You
sir.
little creme brulee, you. I'd like to crack you and let you just melt in me. I would, honestly.
Alrighty.
Yikes.
We're rocking and rolling.
You little creme brulee, you.
I told you we're starting out hot, guys.
Really are. Well, here we go.
Whoa. A lot of interesting stuff on Twitter tonight, but nothing that I can really grab that's, you know, anything epic or anything like that. But I did a search on AEW, and I wanted to see what was coming up, but it was mostly just, you know, news. I don't see anything that's big enough for me. AEW's announcing they have Wardlow gear. I don't, you know, that's not the most exciting thing for me to find out that, you know, hey, Wardlow's got some gear coming out, guys. I mean, okay, but you know, nothing that's really killing it for me as far as that goes. But not a lot of good news from what I can see on Twitter, unless I missed something. Creme brulee. Turpa says, I'm joking, but yeah, expecting to bury everyone. I'm not getting my hopes up. You're right about that. Todd Fair says AEW ratings are in the toilet. I mean, I don't know if they're in the toilet, but they're not. You would have liked to see 950 or more thousand to 1 million on that show after Revolution, and they didn't do it, and we were worried about that. Derek Can says, and whether you're a diehard AEW or not, WWE is the big leagues, and if you're a wrestler making the WWE roster, is the pinnacle of your career, not to say you can't make money elsewhere. 100% agree with that. So, that being said, I think my time has come to a close. I knew I had an hour, and I think we made that hour happen. I enjoyed this stream with you guys, man. Thank you so much to everybody who gifted subs, went crazy on the membership gifts. It's never too late to become a member. We're approaching 60 members. Drop something now if you want. This is the last chance. Say something in the chat right now. This is your last chance. Rapid fire. Let's do it. And I will see you guys again tomorrow night, obviously, for a little bit for some throwdown. And we'll see what happens. So wrapping it up right now. Drop it in the chat. The members-only stream. Thanks to everybody who became a patron. Derek agrees with Todd. I don't know what else he could do in WWE. MJF hit his ceiling in AEW now. I mean, I think you... Unless WWE would let that guy do something special, I mean, I'd have to agree that, yeah. What I'm gonna go do now is I'm gonna go eat my dinner because I haven't had dinner yet because I haven't been eating because of my problems with my gallbladder stuff, and I'm gonna listen to Red Letter Media because they're funny as hell. I love Red Letter Media, and they're about to break down episodes 2 and 3 of Picard, 2, 3, and 4. Of Picard, so I'm going to go watch that while I eat dinner. Thank God, it's time to eat. Turbo says, if it actually could have been, but Vince ruined it, says Brian. Stardust was in the big leads. Chief Wahoo says AEW and it's inconsistent booking right now. Yeah, that's a problem. AEW's got some inconsistencies, and they've been a little lackluster at times recently. And WWE is just obviously not been imaginative enough and not creative enough. They've been so stale with many things, but at least they've got some things working out pretty well. Brian Rogers says, really enjoyed this format tonight, Joe. Have a good night. Thanks, Brian. I thought this would allow us to, get to almost every question and comment in the chat. And you guys certainly helped out by the people that really donated the subs or memberships were huge, man. Drew Barr and Chief Wahoo and everybody who became a member tonight. The membership button's down below if you need it. I like to watch both shows. Yeah, I do too. I like competition and I like watching both shows. Tony playing with the electrical outlet one too many times. Yeah, we talk about how many times the lights go out, man. It's just so. And they go out a shitload in AEW, just so goddamn much. It's incredible. Hall of Fame couple Kevin Patrick, the Hall of Fame couple. I forgot all about that, dude. That was enraging that night, man. The Hall of Fame couple. That drove me nuts. I want to know what Wardlow did. Something isn't right. I know. I don't think that. I just think they fucked up. I think they don't. I'm telling you, I don't know. I just think they messed up. I really do. Sloth fan says Star Trek was good last night. Dude, Star Trek episode 4 of Picard season 3, that was fucking great. That episode was awesome. I mean, fuck, even if you aren't a Star Trek fan at this point, this season's something I would watch. If you just like a space show, god damn, man. How did Picard get good, finally? And I know the answer. Terry Metalis. They just got done talking they just got done talking about it on the scrum about Wardlow cooling off. I didn't hear that. Should I go listen to that? 3 days later, he's buried. That's true. Alex Oli says, bro, when I go to Raw, I'm going to meet him and ask him to say the Hall of Fame couple. Please do, Alex Oli. Then make sure he gets me hired so I can help out. Burning down the ring, Brian Rogers said. Brian says, Turpa, good luck with that. AEW got to push the limit with some crazy storylines. They smoke WWE. Nah. They might do really well for us in the ratings that we give it, but will they generate new fans? That's the other question. We all need to practice Culinar. Drew Barr, you're right. Chief Wahoo says inconsistencies will not get you $1 million. Turpa says good luck with WWE, dude. It's lame as F. I get it, Turpa. I'm still suffering through a lot of it, you know? Why are we doing this? Thank you guys very much for being here. I'm out of here. You all have a good night. Thanks for supporting. And thanks to all the members.
Become a member now.
15 to 25.
And for $5, 15, or 25, become a producer patron.
Thank you guys. Can I watch the new Star Trek if I've never seen it before? Yeah, Alex Oli, you could. I mean, so I don't know, man. Season 3 is a reunion and an homage to Star Trek The Next Generation. So if you don't know Star Trek The Next Generation, it really won't be as good for you. You don't have to watch seasons 1 and 2 of Picard, but you would have to watch all of The Next Generation, I would think. But yeah. But I don't know, bro. It's just so good. The Cure is in Boston on the 18th. Mr. Pico Boulevard. Thank you, man. That's pretty cool. Whenever I'm alone with you. Chief Wahoo, thanks. Derek, thank you, man. AEW's biggest detriment is not accepting advice. You're right, but sometimes there's just so much advice that it's like, what do you do? You know? Sometimes there's so many people dropping advice for them, and they're probably just like, I don't fucking know what to do. Spectral Citizen, we'll see you, man. Thank you, guys. There's the Patreon. Thank you, Jag DePanzer, for dropping the Patreon link in the chat. Jag, thank you. Kirk learns to swim in Season 9. Thank you, guys, for hitting that like button. Hit the like button on the way out if you guys can. We'll get to 100. We'll get to 100 likes. Thank you very much, man. We'll see you tomorrow.
When Raw, SmackDown, WWE, or AEW end. Tune in to The Joe Cronin Show. Live on YouTube for review and reaction. Joe Cronin and Jake break down all the action. All of it. The Joe Cronin Show. Your source for wrestling opinions, news, and insanity. A wrestling podcast with attitude. Mature audiences only. Join our community of over 70,000 people. Subscribe free on YouTube to The Joe Cronin Show.